welcome back to my channel. My name's Alyssa and I'm really sorry for the lighting. I did close my blinds, but it still looks very bright and the camera on my laptop's not that great. But I wanted to try and do an all about my novel video again. I've already tried making this video for another book and this book multiple times, but I just have a hard time explaining things. So I'm going to keep this one short and do a part 2, maybe part 3, depending on how long my novel becomes, because I am handwriting it in the first draft, and in the second draft, when I type it, it may be longer, who knows. So this is my novel JSS, and in my thumbnail, if I put the thumbnail up there, I have it covering my left eye because that is something that is important in the book. And just a little hint, this is a contemporary / romance novel, kind of, and it is told from 2 different perspectives, 2 different people. The first one is Sophie Reyes Dixon, and I'm just going to be explaining what I've already written. The first 2 chapters, though, are on my laptop, and maybe I'll pull that back up again. Hang on. Okay. Alrighty, so I can't do that. I don't know if that blocked me out or anything, but, so the first character is named Sophie Reyes Dixon, and the second character is named Christopher Riley Villain. Fun fact, I was watching a live show here on YouTube of Chris Villain, and it was for raising money for his video that he's been wanting to do for like 3 years, and I asked them if I could. It was him and a bunch of other people, along with 2 of his best friends, one of them named Riley, and I asked them if I could name a character after both of them, so I came up with Christopher Riley Villain, and they all loved it, and they're like, do it, that would be awesome. And later on, I asked how they want the character to look like, and their friend Elizabeth was just like, just do a combination of Chris and Riley. So that is kind of hard because they both do have pale skin. I think Riley's shorter, or no, Chris is shorter. Riley's taller and has like strawberry blonde hair-ish and like light eyes, I think blue eyes or green. And Chris has dark black hair and pale blue eyes, and his hair is like very spiky. So it's been interesting trying to create his character. I ended up coming up with like blonde hair, or dirty blonde hair with green eyes, and he's like 5'6" or something. Like, I don't think I have it in here. And this is going to be unedited, so I won't be like messing up, and if I'm looking anywhere but the camera, I'm still trying to get used to talking straight to the lens. I do have a main channel called Alyssa Fantasy Kingdom, but getting back to the story, not going on any more, oh, sorry laptop, not getting on any more tangents. This story takes place in my hometown, Chico, California, and I made up the street name, well, the street, not the name, but I made up the name of the street, and I said name of the street, I made up a random street. Okay, so, and there's 2 houses at the end, there's like 4 other houses. So, Sophie and her family, it consists of her parents, her older brother Daniel, and her 15-year-old brother who's a bit younger than her. She's like 18, yeah, 18 or 19, and her younger brother Matthew is 15, and a 14-year-old brother named William. So they decide to go on a vacation to London, England to visit her dad's extended family, like her dad's side of the family that's extended in London, England. And on the plane also happened to be Christopher Riley Millen, along with his dad, who's a travel agent, and his older sister. So sometimes he takes his kids out on the trips that he goes on, and he goes to different places just so that he can. There's a bump in my hair. Sorry. Just so that he can learn more about the patients, or learn more about the places that his people will be traveling to. Traveling and stuff. So they happen to be sitting right in front of Sophie and her brother Daniel in the plane, and the others are just kind of scattered. Chris is sitting next to both his sister on his left side and his dad on right next to her near the aisle. So on the plane happens to be a couple of people who have problems, and they end up bringing guns on board somehow. It's still like unknown, even they don't know. So there's a shooting that ends up happening, and a lot of chaos is going on the plane. Flight attendants can't really do anything. I think a couple of them got shot. I don't actually write the whole scene that happened in the plane, but I'm just gonna give that background to lead into the rest of the story. But Sophie ends up getting shot in the left eye. It kind of just goes straight. If you've seen The Walking Dead, which is a huge part of this, the book, I don't know if I mentioned, it's called JSS. And I'm planning to take, even though I'm writing it in here, and then typing it up, I'm planning to take cover photos when I'm in Tahoe this weekend, while my dad's doing his race. But anyways, it's called JSS. I'm not saying the full name, that's the abbreviation of the name, or of the title. Anyways, she gets shot in the eye, and if you've seen The Walking Dead, Carl gets shot in the right eye, she gets shot in the left eye, and she uses what happens to Carl in the show and in the comics to explain what happened to her. And somehow with the crash and with the shooting and getting shot in the eye, and with the crash, she survives, and her parents end up dying along with her younger brother William, and all that's left is her, Daniel, and Matthew. And for Chris, his sister ended up dying, getting shot and dying in his arms, and then his dad ended up dying in the crash. So, and Chris lives in San Francisco originally, but they're from Sacramento because they moved around a lot. And so we start the story with Sophie. I almost called her Olivia for some reason. Sophie ends up waking up in the hospital, not knowing what's going on. She hears voices. She recognizes her brother's voice, and she's still kind of in like a drowsy state, and when she realizes that she can't open her left eye, she starts to freak out, and she's also strapped down to the hospital bed. She hears like the beeping behind her and everything, and suddenly like her brother tries to calm her down. Sorry for moving this. Her brother tries to calm her down, and she ends up going back into a deep sleep, and not dying, but a deep sleep. 2 days later, when she wakes up, and maybe I should change it. Yeah, like 2 days later when she wakes up, she not only learns that she was a victim of the shooting on board that plane, but she also learns that her parents died, and a notification popped up on my laptop. She learns that her parents dies, and she lost her eye, along with losing her younger brother, who she loved. And she is also the only girl in the family. So Sophie, when they release her, she has not come out of her room for a long time, and she just kind of stays in there and does her own thing, reading like the same books, The Walking Dead, Harry Potter, just some of the ones that bring her comfort, even though The Walking Dead does kind of like makes her more sad, because that was kind of the her and her parents thing in their family thing. And what also ends up happening is they have the funeral for her parents and brother in London, and so does Chris and his family for his sister and his dad, and we'll get to him later. So Sophie, her mom's parents, so her grandparents on her mom's side, come and get all of them in England and bring them back home, and that's when she just doesn't want to see anybody. She doesn't want anyone to see her. She is very insecure about her eye and herself. And she goes into kind of a little bit of depression mode, and one day she ends up opening her window that overlooks the driveway into the next house, and she notices that there's new neighbors and is very confused on why. I call the neighbors the Johnsons, the ones that lived there before the villains got there. And she goes downstairs and talks to her grandma, and her grandma is all like, "Oh, I forgot that your grandpa told me about that. Yeah, we have new neighbors. And hey, you want to go meet them?" She's like, "No, I don't want to go meet them. I'll stay here while you guys go do that." And her grandma's like, "Oh, we can make homemade cookies or bread or whatever." And Sophie's just shrinking in her chair and is like, "No, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go anywhere. I'll stay in the safety of my room." And then, there's a conversation that she has with her grandma, I think before that or after that. I'm not sure. Did I write that in here? This is why I have this with me, and this video is already 13 minutes long and almost 40 seconds long. There we go, now we're at 40 seconds long. Let me look here. I'm sorry this is gonna be long, and if you say the whole thing, thank you. I don't think so. Okay, so where was I at? Oh, yeah. So she is very against going to go visit them. And so that is when, so she goes back upstairs, and that is when Chris comes in, Christopher Short, and Chris, he is still their family is not in the very best place after his dad died and his older sister died in the crash along with their parents and younger brother. So he goes to they drive up and start her. Okay. So his mom tells him after he turns around to yell at his younger brother to stop kicking his chair, tells him to go to the room and gives him the keys, and so he happens to choose the room upstairs, down the left hallway that actually kind of looks into Sophie's room, or like Sophie's bedroom, because the houses are like the kind that are right next to each other. So he ends up seeing her and is just wondering about her and about what happened to her, and he remembers but doesn't remember it because he got knocked out too, on the plane. And yeah, so they I think I may just stop it here so that I can just kind of recollect. No? Okay. This is going to be a long video, so I'm really sorry about that. But I feel like I'm doing an okay job talking about this. I do really like the story, so I'm going to keep talking about this. We're on to chapter 4. So, Chris, every time he goes in and out, he's like wondering what happened to the girl and next door, and she ends up calling her best friend Jessie, and they've been kind of in like a weird relationship where they're together, but they're like, they don't say that they're together, or it's kind of like awkward and they're both shy about just being each other, even though, even though they do like each other, they're just like, they're still unsure about what is actually going on with both of them. And he had seen the news and saw the plane crash on there, and knew that she was on that plane. So she calls him because he's the only one that she wants to talk to, really. And then when he comes, Chris hears when he's in his new room, and he kind of gets disappointed when he sees him coming up, and this is after her and her brother Matthew come back from the mailbox and have a little brother-sister time on that walk down to the mailbox. He just kind of gets a little disappointed and thinks, oh, I'm not, even if I do like her and end up getting to meet her, I probably won't have a chance with her because of him, and I am just like here, and there's like nothing I can do about that. And I feel like I should just stop this now before it gets to 20 minutes long. So I will do a part 2 of this, or maybe a part 3, or maybe when I finish the book and have it all typed and hopefully get it printed through CreateSpace, I will do a full video. But that is the beginning of JSS, and I hope you like the video, and please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And wow, I'm saying and a lot. I'm gonna go now. So I will see you in another video soon, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!